Hello, guys. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Jay Voodoo, how we doing? Most Smarties, what's up, dude? NFL and Manor, that's right. Sunday vibes, dude. Who you rooting for? Rabin? Good morning. 2 a.m. Oh, okay. It's a different good morning in a different sense then. Yeah, ready to sleep some Manor shenanigans. That's right. Ned Lynch, how we doing? Lunchtime here with a nice dusting of snow outside. Okay. That sounds like pristine wintertime vibes. Immaculate. See, oh boy. Hey, Smarties, now you're talking, dude. I live near Seattle, Washington. So, yeah, I'm a 12. Now you're speaking my language, dude. Let's go. Go Hawks. Oh wow, that is freezing, dude. Snow and negative 23 Celsius? What? That's fun. That's crazy that you root for this for the Seahawks though. Nice. I love that. Oh my goodness, North Alberta. That is wild. Negative 23 Celsius. That's crazy. I can't even imagine that. Wow. You work there, but you live in Kelowna. See, now I don't know where that is. I'll have to look that one up. I love that you root for the Hawks though. Yeah, I moved to Seattle about 7 8 years ago, I think. At this point, yeah. So I've been a Seahawks fan for a while. It's positive 26 Celsius there. Huh? Last time you saw snow was 15 years ago. Now, jeez, stark difference there, huh? Yeah, so I grew up in San Diego, in Southern California, in San Diego, California. So there was no snow, no winter really at all. So it's a lot more seasonal up here in the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, I grew up without no none of that. Oh, you're in Massachusetts, Ned? Yeah, yeah, around freezing there. It's about that time of year, huh, guys? It's about that time of year. It's crazy. We're already pretty much halfway through December. 2026 is right around the corner, huh? Whew. How about that? Okay, let's pull this up. If you followed basketball, you'd be a Hawks fan too. What are the what is the I don't the Hawks basketball? I don't know if that's a team. Maybe it is. It's 42 Fahrenheit in hot Atlanta. Oh, that's actually pretty cold for Atlanta. Huh? Wow. Never been to Atlanta, but one of my best friends is like from Atlanta. heard a lot about it. All right, guys. So, oh, the Atlanta Hawks. Gotcha. No. We're talking Seahawks, baby. Seahawks. The Atlanta Hawks are cool too. I guess those are actually the Hawks. You tried the farming challenge. Made it through the first winter so far. Oh, nice. That's great to hear. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the hardest part, right? Making it through that first, until you really get established. That's the real challenge, right? So, Birch is lurking. What's up, dude? 35 Fahrenheit. And DFW. What is DFW? DFW. Let's see if I can figure that out. For whatever reason, I can't think of what DFW would be. Where's that? Or USA. Well, some of them are from Canada. Oh, there is definitely, I will say, I feel like a lot of the people who watch the channel are from like Eastern Europe or some form of Europe. I know Bath is from he's from England. There was someone in here the other day who was Scotland. They posted a picture in the Discord. Definitely a lot of European too. Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay, gotcha. Dallas, Fort Worth. Wow, so it's pretty cold all over the place, huh? 35. I mean, that's definitely cold. What is it here right now? Let me see. Looks like it's about 50 degrees here, Fahrenheit. 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that means in Celsius, but, All right, guys, so today we are going on the challenging preset here. Restoring the Peace. Challenging. And it's interesting because I know we were kind of chatting about it a little bit the other day on Friday, but, this achievement still has like an extremely low completion rate. And I've heard a lot of comments, people kind of struggling to get past the couple year mark or so especially in the challenging settings what's the difference between how to get going if you're on the regular settings versus challenging. So we'll take a look at some of that here. We'll try to get in a complete victory, but we'll see. We'll see how quick we can get it going. You were starving here, folks, and you had 30% approval, and still sketchy people wanted to replace your recently departed. Yeah, I have noticed that, right? Like, if you have deaths from starvation where, like, one person out of the family dies, for example, they'll just repopulate, what is it, like? I think it's like 2 months later, 3 months later, something like that. There's really not that... Honestly, it's really not that impactful. I mean, it is impactful, but it's not as impactful as I guess you would kind of anticipate it to be if your people are starving and dying. So yeah, I don't know if that'll maybe we'll see a rework there. Side note, there was another beta patch that dropped yesterday, guys. And I don't know, just some more random bug fixes or whatever. The main thing that I noticed in the balance section was that they seem to be continuing this theme of adjusting, balancing, whatever you want to call it for the trade items. It basically seems that they're just nerfing any trade item that's like really strong. They just seem to be nerfing. So they nerfed the stone, so rich stone deposit. It's still going to be really good for economy, but they nerfed it now. So rough stone and the dress stone sell for significantly less. I forget what the number was. Let me pull it up here, but I think it was, let me see. Dress stone used to be 7 export value down to 5, and rough stone from 4 down to 3. So they reduced the export values there on the stone deposit. So we'll see. By the time that they actually release this patch, who knows what's actually going to be good for trade. So we're just taking it as it comes for now. Yes, the words lowered and reduced appeared too many times in the release notes. I know. Yeah. So like I said, it's obviously we can all, I think, understand that, like, the charcoal was really strong before, and then then the stone was really strong, and maybe the shields were like too expensive, but whatever. But I mean, geez, yeah, they are absolutely gutting the trade values just constantly. Feels like they're just on like a tirade to just nerf all trade items. So yeah, we'll continue to keep our eye on that. But just wanted to update you guys there real quick. If you didn't see, that was just yesterday, basically, I think, that this new beta patch came out. So we're on the 4th beta patch in a row. So hopefully they'll actually get this thing done, hopefully soon. Because yeah, I mean, still like every single day, there's several comments on some of the videos, like, why does this version of the game look different than mine, and it's like, man, we really wish they would get this thing out of beta sometime in a reasonable amount of time, but we'll see. Yeah, that is true, Ned. That is true. Yes, they did increase the yield for flax, but they reduced barley. I think they reduced wheat. They pretty much reduced a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, they did increase the yield for flax. So farming, as we were kind of taking a look at the other day in the farming challenge, we were making a good amount of money using the flax to create gambesons, which sell for 10 regional wealth each. So maybe for right now, that's a really strong trade item. I'm just a little afraid to, like, suggest anything, I guess, until things are a little more set, I guess, because I mean, even in the trade economy, trade profits guide that I put out, barely 2 months ago, literally every single piece of information in that video is now completely irrelevant. I think the only thing that's actually accurate now in that video is the price of pelts. Every single thing else has been completely changed, so it's just like super drastic. So anyways, yes, Gambeson economy, yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely a very strong option now in general. So all right, so just a sec here, guys, we're going to get started. All right. All right, guys, so we're going for a victory here on restoring the peace with the challenging settings. I'm going to be choosing high peaks because it's my favorite map, but also because it's the smallest map with only 4 regions, and it'll make things move a bit faster. I'm going to go with this starting location down here, which is very close to the edge of the map, and as we can see, the King's Road right here comes right along. So we're placing ourselves in a strong economical location where we can get trades going quickly from the trade point right here, and making sure we're right along the King's Road and stuff. So we're setting up for efficient logistical setup economically right off the bat, just with our town placement decision here. And mainly we're going to utilize the new meta origin perk, which as everyone should know by now, is of the Voktland. So, and although this isn't necessarily a speed run, I do have a strategy in mind, which will also be a bit of a rush to engage with the Baron to take another region pretty early on. We're going to want to contest him for an early region, or we'll try to. And hopefully then we can take the remaining 2 regions within a reasonable amount of time from there for full-scale victory. But it'll be a little bit of added challenge like this, but also for the sake of, like, hopefully trying to fit everything into the time frame of this stream and video. Because that's usually ends up being the challenge, if we don't load the map with bandit camps and stuff. Just getting the influence is what usually takes a while. So, but we'll have a good amount of military and combat focus here. I know that's been also kind of a topic that people, like, we voted on last week and stuff. So we'll try to get Good amount of that going here. But we'll need a really efficient town setup to pull all of it off, of course. So that's the foundation to everything. So first of all, we'll use a slightly different build order compared to the quick housing expansion that we've used recently. With the difficult, like on the challenging settings, you get the difficult weather settings and demanding residential requirements, for example. So we'll have to have some adjusted priorities, especially in the beginning here. Can't just go full send on housing right away without providing any of the approval requirements, or you'll get a glimpse here, and if you try it for yourself, you should know how it happens very fast. Like if you build housing without any, no firewood and church and food and all that stuff, the approval dips pretty quick. So we'll have to make sure we are keeping that in mind for our setup. And yeah, we'll try to avoid re-rolling a bunch of times here. But since if you are going on the challenging settings, you do kind of need at least a decent setup, especially since we're trying to do a bit of a rushed attack here. So like for example, a rich hunting would be great to be able to utilize the hunting hound with the Vogt land, for example. It's always really good to be able to adapt. I mean, this isn't the worst, but it's not exactly what I want. I mean, so there is a potential. I mean, like a rich mushroom or berry deposit's really not that bad either with the Vogt land perk, because you get double capacity on them. So we can harvest a ton of mushrooms, and then they'll also sell for 2 regional wealth each as a minor trade item. So you could like sell a ton of mushrooms. I know Jay Voodoo has mentioned recently, like selling fish really early on is also really strong with the Vogt land perk, because they go from 3 to 5, which ends up being very strong. So there's a potential here for this to kind of work, but I think we'll go ahead and we'll try a quick reroll and see if we get something a little bit better. Go down to that same starting spot. Challenging. You feel iron slabs are coming in really slow. Yeah, very hesitant to increase the production speed due to maintenance. Well, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? Wow, that's funny. Look, we re-rolled and we got the exact same setup. Rich clay, rich mushrooms, regular fish. That's funny. We literally got the exact same setup. Is this a sign? No way, right? Oh, you mean just the mining speeds in general? Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, so I did notice, like in the recent one of the recent large set of patch notes, I think was the one from like earlier in December. God, they really want to give us this rich clay, huh? Then fertility. Yeah, we don't really want to use that. Yeah, I did notice. I think it was the one in the first big one in early December from a few weeks ago. And in the patch notes, and I wrote about it in the Discord, I was like, what does this even mean? Because they had 2 different bullet points. One bullet point said, like, fixed iron mining rates being too slow. So, like, increase the mining rates from being too slow. And then there was another bullet point in a different section that said, reduced mining rates by 50%. So it was like, what does that mean? Like, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like, fixed mining rates being too slow and then reduced mining rates by 50%. It's like, dude, you guys are, as usual, just, they don't make any sense at all. So, so we got fertility here and rich berries. All right, we're going to re-roll one more time. I think we're literally just going to take whatever we get here. We're just going to go. Yeah, 3. Yeah, I gotcha. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we re-rolled. Like I said, we were just going to do one more re-roll and take what we get. We did get rich iron. And then there's a rich fishing deposit right here. So we're just going to go with it. Like I said, I really wanted hunting to be honest with you. But yeah, we're gonna go with this. So, all right, like I said, I don't want to re-roll anymore. I did say we're just gonna take whatever we get here. So let's do it, guys. So, like I said, you have to have a little bit of different priorities. You tried deep mining today on a rich deposit. It was actually good. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Like I said, I'm not really sure what they keep messing with the rates and stuff, and their patch notes were extremely confusing, so it's hard to really know. All right, guys. So we're gonna get started here. Once again, we're on the challenging preset, so we have to have a little bit of different priorities here. So we're gonna get going here, guys. So we'll definitely, like I mentioned, sell fish for sure. I'm gonna try to not like abuse the rich iron deposit here. I mean, maybe we can also, since there's talks of it right now in the chat, we can maybe take a look at, you know, is the like mining rates or whatever just really slow anyways, and it's not gonna help us that much regardless. So we'll see how that goes. But first of all, guys, we do need to get a couple building tasks here, which are going to be maybe in a slightly different order than what we're typically used to for, once again, like a fast population expansion on regular settings. So logging camp right away, as usual. Order second ox, as usual. And that second hitching post. So all that's pretty much the same. Okay. So we're gonna get through this setup here. I'll explain everything along the way as usual. All right, so we're gonna triple staff that logging camp. We got that second ox ordered, hitching post down. Okay, so no houses yet. First of all, we need storage. So this is a two-sided thing. So first of all, now with the more dramatic weather events, these supplies that are exposed here will get destroyed within the first set of rain, which will come very soon. So we need to get these stored right away. We don't want to lose a chunk. We don't want to lose our starting food or firewood or anything like that. So we got to make sure that gets stored, and we also need to make sure that these buildings are up and ready to be staffed to supply the marketplace for the housing requirements. Otherwise, the approval will dip drastically very quickly. So we are going to we'll go ahead and do storehouse right here. Okay, storehouse first. Let's also take a look. Where's the water? Underground water. Okay, we do have an underground water right here, which will be good. Okay, so we're not going to have to go far for that. So storehouse right there, and then we'll put granary literally right next to that. And see, our starting supplies are right here, and then we're putting storehouse and granary, so we're putting stuff in like very close proximity here, which is our main priority to get it done ASAP. So we'll get the storehouse on high priority to get that done first, since it only takes a couple logs. Okay, I'm going to turn off market stall setup and just staff that real quick so they get the stuff put away. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Smarties. I'm all about the economy, you know what I mean? I'm a big believer, yeah, like economy over everything, you know? Like you can basically make anything happen with a strong economy. All right, so storehouse is staffed, and as we can see, since the supplies were literally right here, they got all that stuff stored away really quickly. So that's already done. Done with that. Get the granary done, and we'll do the same thing with the granary real quick. Okay, so granary's done. Staff that real quick, same thing. Get this bread put away. And we still have all 20 of it, and we'll get all that safely stored. All right, next we're going to build water well. We'll go ahead and place that. Let's place that right here. Once again, we're just keeping things extremely tight-knit, close proximity. So we'll probably, once we're able to move some more of this crap out of the way, maybe we'll move the hitching post. Move the hitching post. We need the homeless tents to go away, and these supplies are getting stored. And so we'll probably rope off a little area right here where we'll put like a market next to the water well. And so we'll just have some housing right up next to this. Maybe we'll do a little bit of our signature double road. I always like that. Okay, and then we're gonna get some few houses coming in here. And we have 5, so we can start with 2 houses because we have 5 timbers available. So we'll get 2 in there, but we're gonna put high priority on the well. That needs to be done first. Yeah, the increased collapse chance is an interesting factor. But it sounds like, you know, there's also a, I'm not going to get too sidetracked here, but there is a, I know there's a perk too, right? That, which one is it? Is it this one? No, one of these, oh, right here. Improved mine integrity. So the Newmanburg prospectors. Proximity of mines are no longer a factor for collapse chance. Maintenance durability of all mines plus 30%. Applies on delivery. I don't know exactly what that portion means, but did want to point this out here since there's some talks of you know, the mines collapse chance, productivity, maintenance requirements, all that. I just wanted to point out here, you could, I haven't tried this out, so I don't really know how, like, you know, worth it is, but this is a thing, so maybe could be something worth checking out. All right, so we got a few houses coming in. So we set up, basically we're ready to supply food, firewood, and water before we're putting in any housing here. That's what we did before any housing. And we're still early, like we're in mid-March right now. So we're still, you know, basically you have the month of March as your kind of grace period to set up like at least some of the starting approval requirements to get ahead on those. So we'll get our initial 5 houses here. You still obviously don't want to have homelessness, but the effects of not having food, firewood, water, all that kind of stuff will be far more drastic than the homelessness debuff. And then I'm also going to turn these on low to make sure. So what I'm doing here is to make sure that we don't have like houses getting finished too fast ahead of each other, because we're still in the grace period of March. So I really want, basically, I want all these houses to be done around the same time. So you guys see what I'm doing here? They're getting the 2 timbers moved in, and then they're getting ahead on, you know, finishing the building task, and then I'm moving them to low to make sure that they move on to the next ones, and hopefully all these houses will come in somewhat evenly. And the reason we're doing that is, so if we already finished these first 2 houses, for example, they'd already be moved in thinking like, I need food, I need water, I need firewood, I need this, yeah, wham, 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 right? So we are delaying that by even slightly a bit more. And then all these 5 houses will come in. They'll all enable their approval requirements basically at the same time. And then we'll staff up our storehouse, our granary, get the marketplace rocking. And then, speaking of which, let's go ahead and place a market area right here, like we planned for. 5 stalls there, that's okay. Okay, so here comes the housing now. I think they've pretty much got all the timbers delivered. So we're gonna have all these houses coming up right now. So there's one, and they're gonna come in really fast since the way that we did that with, so you can see this approval stuff is gonna kick in very quickly. Watch how fast, look, we've already dipped 5%, down 8%. See, so just to show you guys how quickly this happens on the challenging settings here. See, we're still not even in April, so also to show you guys, I mean, it is possible to get, we're going to get all 5 houses here, as well as our storage buildings and all that within this first month still. But you guys can see how quickly the approval is affected here, right? So that means we're going to very quickly turn on market stall, staff up the storehouse. We'll take one of our people from the logging camp to free up another labor. And same thing here in the granary, boom. So now they are going to go ahead and they'll have water, fuel, and food. And then they'll be okay. Then their approval will start to rise. But you guys can see how quickly, look, we're already down to 39%, right? So here we go. Now they're starting to stock up the marketplace. And then as we can see, now they have that food in the firewood. And so we'll start to bounce back pretty quickly here. But yeah, as you can see, that's why you do have to have a different approach here for the challenging settings. A lot more volatile with the approval spiking up and down like that. So got to make sure that you have that initial infrastructure set up, at least with the storage. And then as you can see, here's the rain right now as well. So we made sure we safely stored away those starting supplies and we didn't lose any. All right, so that's a great start right there. We will go ahead and place in just like one more house for now, but we're not going to really worry about, you know, aggressive pop growth necessarily. Let's do a, let's see if we can just do a double here, I guess. Or two, whatever, you know what I mean. Just put a couple right there. So we'll have some houses ready to go, but then we're gonna move on to other tasks as soon as those are up. So we need more firewood. We need to start gathering some sort of food. And then planks and trade. We want to ramp up trade basically very, very quickly here. Economy is going to be absolutely paramount for us. Yeah. I see you guys were discussing the perk there, yeah. 11% approval loss per month then on challenge. Yeah, it's pretty drastic. No, so the challenge, if you're gonna, the challenging settings with the winter start is gonna be for on the edge, or if you're doing restoring the peace. But if you're doing, for rise to prosperity. But for restoring the peace, which we're doing here, where you're battling the Baron, it's still a spring start for the challenging settings. It goes to winter start when you basically don't have to have an enemy to deal with. But the rise to prosperity has no combat at all. But the on the edge does have bandits. So on the edge challenge, like I've said before, on the edge challenging is the hardest preset challenge that you can do in the game, at least in my opinion. All right, so we're gonna get the Voklan perk here, as usual. That's our go-to. All right, so we did finish up those couple extra houses there, so we are ready in case you know, some people want to start moving in pretty soon. And we're gonna get Fisherman's Hut. This one I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. Fishing in particular, if it's better to have it next to the node or next to the granary. I mean, I feel like it's typically better to just have it next to the node, and they'll have way more productivity. But then, you know, the granary trap, we could always build another granary just right here next to it, but I think we'll just go ahead and build it right here, right next to the fishing node. And we'll connect this. Okay. So we're going to get fishing, and then we're going to get planks, and then firewood, planks, and then trade. That is our starting goals here. So that fishing hut is coming up first, then it's going to be firewood after that. And let's just go ahead and put firewood. Just put firewood right behind the storehouse right here. Okay. Make sure they finish the fishing hut first. Fishing hut's done. All right, we're going to take one of our logging people and move them to the fishing hut. There we go. Okay, and wood cutting is up as well. So we're going to need that pretty soon. Hopefully we'll get... So by May... May 1st here coming up, we'll hopefully get a family moving in. And then we'll start getting a little bit of pop growth, and we'll just go from there. All right, so eel. We have a rich eel deposit, which is right now 406 out of 912. It's kind of weird that they don't... Like, why doesn't the pond start full? Why does it start? It's not even half. Like, why does the fishing deposit start less than half capacity? I mean, I don't like that.
Come one, come all. Feast your eyes on our fine selection.
Feast your eyes. All right, here comes May, and then we're gonna get a new family. May 1st. All right, so there goes. Baron's already going for the first bandit camps, basically, to take the treasury and influence and stuff for himself, which I assume is like he's probably going for this one over here. All right, so we got that new family moving in. We're going to get them assigned to firewood. There we go. And now we're going to have pop growth continually, and we want to make sure we continue keep the ball rolling with that, at least for now. To an extent. Make sure we don't want to, you know, overgrow if we're not prepared for it. But we should be okay now. So we'll get another house up. Just make sure we're staying ahead. And the next family that comes in, we're going to preemptively put our saw pits. We can go ahead and do... I kind of want to put church like right... Maybe we'll put the church right here and we'll move the logging area. So we'll put saw pit right here. Right next to the storehouse and then near the trade area. So saw pit there.
Come one, come all. Feast your eyes on our fine selection.
Because we got the perk, the max for fish doubled. Does it also affect fish? I mean, it doesn't say anything about that. It just says wild berries and mushrooms deposits have double capacity. It doesn't say anything about fish, right? And I don't think there's any affinity that affects it either. We do have a strong woodland. The teaming only affects animals and berries and mushrooms. See, I don't think we have anything that affects fishing. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's something that's maybe missing right now is a fishing improvement. That would be nice for a build like this, though. I mean, it seems to be like gaining already, though. See, it was at 400 something, right? I mean, it's already up to 540, so it seems to be replenishing even as we're fishing it. So that's really good. Now I know the price for eel is different than the price for fish, for carp. So we'll have to see what we need to do. I honestly don't know at the top of my head what that's going to mean necessarily. We might need I don't know if that's a major trade route item. I can't remember, so we'll have to see what that means. But we're definitely going to be selling the firewood and planks to start out here. But we're decently established for the challenging settings. Now we're okay with approval and pop growth. Here comes another family. Good. All right, saw pit's up, so we're going to use that new family that just moved in for saw pit. Let's make sure we're going to set a reserve on timber so we don't use everything. But we're moving forward on getting planks and firewood ready to sell very early on here, and then we'll also try to sell eel. But once again, I don't remember. Fishing hut is at modest. Does placing a birch, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, I assume also because we only have like one family assigned to, right? But yeah, definitely that would as always, right? The logistical efficiency is always going to have an impact on all those kind of factors. Yeah, so the burgage plot, basically everything, and that means everything though, but not just their housing, but also the market, the church, the tavern, right? The water well, all those things being in close proximity will make a difference, because they will constantly, this guy or whatever, any one of these family members at any point will just be like, oh, I'm gonna go stock the house with firewood, or I'm gonna go stock the house with water, or I'm gonna go to the church and pray, or I'm gonna go get a nail at the tavern. And depending how far they have to travel for that, of course, will definitely impact their productivity. Just making sure we're staying ahead on housing. Carp is minor 3, eel is major 5. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, sorry, let's see. So that kind of sucks in that regard. See, we would be, it would be great if this was giving us regular carp instead of eel, because we can sell carp with the Vokland perk. You sell carp for 5 the same as the eel for 5, but we need to get this major trade route. So we need to make a little investment here, but that's okay. We'll have a ton of it, and we'll sell a bunch of eel for 5 each. So we just need to sell 20 regional wealth worth to get that trade route unlocked. So that'll be an initial goal for us here. So now that we have this established here, we're gathering food and firewood, we're making planks, and we have our trading post ready. So now we're the next family that we get, they're going to be assigned to the trading post. There they go, they just moved in. We're going to assign them to the trading post, and we're going to go export. Let's just keep 20 planks around for building tasks that we still need to complete, and then same thing here, just 20 firewood excess for town needs. But we'll start selling planks and firewood outside of that. So we're making pretty good progress here. But now trade is huge. We need to get going on trade like immediately. This is we need to ramp this up as big as possible, as quickly as possible. If we're going to meet our goal of we're trying to contest. So Baron's going to take a region here in the first year that we're not going to be able to contest. There's our 50 regional wealth. Let's go ahead and unlock the eel, and we're going to go export. And same thing, let's just do like a surplus of 20 for now. Sell off all the rest of the eels. We're going to start making good profit. Next time we get our next threshold is 60 regional wealth, we're going to buy a horse. And then bump up the trade capacity even more. New family started moving in. Okay. Alright, so now we are wanting to think about the church. Since we're on challenging settings, we do need all of our approval requirements to be taken care of, as they have a more significant impact. So we're going to move the logging camp like right out here, for example, and then we're going to put the church right here, I think. Alright, we're starting to make a few more sales. Carp is stocked up. We're almost up to 60. We have one more free housing area. Keeping an eye on that. And like I said, I'm really trying to not like just abuse this rich iron deposit either. Just to make it a little more relatable. We're going to get church going over there. Still making steady sales. One more housing space. Making sure we're staying ahead on that too. Okay, there's that new family just came in. So let's get one more house up. At least before we move on to something else. Let's go with that. And then we're going to put the church once we get that house up. Sweet. Okay, we did get the money that we need for the horse. We're gonna import the horse. There we go. That's right. Getting that horse turbocharges trade. Absolutely, dude. That is the biggest thing that you can do to boost your trade. Is getting horses for your trade workers. Those bulk sales that you'll make, particularly if you place yourself like I mentioned in the beginning. We chose this starting point that's, you know, a direct access to this trade point. So they'll be taking bulk cart loads on the horse quickly and consistently. All right, church is up, so now we have the church fulfilled. So we're just missing one thing now, but we're good. You know, we'll be steadily gaining approval here. We did get this new family to move in here. So once again, we're just staying ahead on housing. And we're just, of course, monitoring. We don't want to, you know, when you're on the challenging settings, you don't want to outgrow your means. So, you know, we're only continuing to grow population because, you know, we have a strong supply of food and fuel still. But, you know, obviously you need to monitor that. You can't just continually expand your population if you're not ready for it. All right, so horse is here. This guy's off trading, but when he comes back, yeah. Don't be shy. So when he comes back, he'll use the horse hopefully, and we'll be getting massive income rocking. All right, so we're up to 290. We made a big trade there already. 290 regional wealth. So we're starting to get huge gains here already. And soon in 14, we're gonna get another horse. So we're just ramping up trade. Buku trade. Awesome. Another thing we're gonna do is I see there's like a regular berry deposit like off over here. It's not convenient by any means, but we're gonna gather what we can from that as well, just to get further ahead on food supplies for the coming winter and make sure that we're just not consuming all the eel that we have so we can sell more of it. Hey, Sean, what's going on? How are you? Happy Sunday. Was making dinner when you started. Better late than never. Yeah, no worries. Welcome in. Hope you've been having a good weekend. Yeah, we're just, we're halfway. We're in summer of the first year here. We're on the challenging settings. We got a good town established, but we're trying to take the whole valley and beat the Baron here on restoring the peace on challenging. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, cool. So we will... Since we have extra families right now, we're just gonna triple assign on the forager hut. Let's go ahead and get the herb garden too, because sick families will really hinder our productivity if that ever happens. 3 days we'll also order another horse. We're gonna double up on our logging camp as well. Hey, what's up, Baf? How we doing? Welcome in, dude. Happy Sunday. Yeah, another micro update released yesterday. Correct. Yes. Yep, that's right. We mentioned it earlier. The so main things is they adjusted some farming stuff, like flax got buffed, but wheat and rye and barley got nerfed, and then stone, like a rich stone deposit, got nerfed. So the trade prices of the dress stone and the rough stone got nerfed. So, you know, they seem to be pretty gung-ho about just nerfing any good trade items, right? So all right, we can go ahead and order that second horse. Sweet. You don't think the empty house debuff is bad for approval? It used to be. Would have to check. Oh, you mean like the homelessness debuff? The homelessness debuff is definitely... I from what I've noticed, the homelessness debuff is more significant now than it used to be, like, before these beta updates or whatever. But we've been... The way that we did it here, we were good anyways. We didn't have any... we had pop growth within a reasonable amount of time, and we didn't get into negative approval or anything like that, so I think we had a pretty solid approach. Good one so far. Yeah. Good to hear, Sean. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate. Yeah, same here. Going pretty good. Going pretty good. I did a few of these runs to practice. I've been trying to. I feel like I overthink, you know. I've just been like. I tried to set up some stuff for like specifically some combat, but it's just really tough with like the influence requirements, and it's really hard to like force combat situations and set up for that. So I'm gonna do more of like an edited video for like specifically combat stuff and more like information, and we'll talk about a lot of that here in this stream. You know what I mean? But just in general, a combat like guide or full video revolving around that. Make that soon, more in an edited fashion, because you can't just really like consistently force battles. Interesting. Go with that. But yeah, good to hear you guys are having a good weekend. Make sure build the tavern next to the church. That's right. That's right, Ned. You gotta, exactly. We gotta. What's up, Hanafi? Does the Vogtland agriculture penalty affect fruits and vegetables on houses? Yes, it does. Now, I don't think it affects the fruits. I don't think it affects the orchards, but it definitely does affect if you have backyard vegetable gardens on your houses. In the backyards of the houses, it definitely will affect that on top of the regular farming fields. Orchards, however, I do not believe are going to be affected from this. Only vegetable gardens as far as the housing extensions. Yeah, good question, though. If you had a few empty houses... Oh, I see. You're not talking about approval. You're talking about empty houses. I see. Gotcha. Yeah, well, we're putting in some empty ones here, I guess. We'll see. We'll take a look at it. When the game first came out, you laughed how it seemed to take age to build a church. They threw that L. That's right, dude. Kind of have those priorities. Now we're thinking, guys. Now we're really thinking. All right, so that horse is here. We're going to get second family on the trading post, and we're going to really bump up on that. Sell all kinds of stuff. Alright, so there's another bandit camp just spawned, so Baron's going to be going for that. So basically, when you're on the challenging settings, every time a bandit camp spawns, the Baron's going to basically immediately purchase mercenaries and go for that bandit camp, so that they will get the treasury and influence for themselves. I imagine he's also going to take a region here. He's probably also going to claim one of these neutral regions after he takes that bandit camp. As we can see here, we already have all of our level 1 houses ready to upgrade. So we have every single thing fulfilled now for tier 1. We're not going to upgrade because we definitely do not want to activate another tier of approval requirements. We could consider just upgrading like one house, or two, whatever, like a very specific amount just for specific like backyard extension artisan. But I don't have anything in mind necessarily right now. The only thing I would prioritize, to be honest, would maybe be first and foremost would maybe be a bowyer, since we're not getting any sort of on the challenging, you do not get a armament supply delivery, so we could at least like making your own militia as far as like melee units is pretty tough. You need several artisan workshops and stuff going. We'll probably only just focus on making war bows for ourselves, so we can go ahead and just upgrade one single house for now that will turn into a bowyer. And we did just fill up on housing again. We have a few more coming in here, so that's good. But yeah, we're ramped up again. Once again, we've got our second horse and second tradesman going, so we're really ramping up. And soon we're gonna get, over the winter time here, we're gonna get a manor put in pretty soon here too. Probably after we finish this round of housing, we're gonna get a manor coming in here, because we need to get taxing if we're gonna have a chance at getting. Like I said, he'll probably lay claim to one of these neutral regions right now, like right after he takes the bandit camp, and then the second neutral region, which will probably be within the next year or whatever, very quickly, we're going to want to be able to contest him on that, which means we need to get a military going very quickly here. It's going to be tough, so. Yeah, empty houses, too many used to really not. Yeah, I gotcha. We'll see what happens here if we get a couple empty houses for a hot second here. It might, I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what it says. Does the size of the garden make a difference for goats, pigs, chickens, or only matter when it's vegetables or orchards? Great question, Sean. Yeah, you're basically, no, it does not matter for goats, pigs, and chickens. Only matters for vegetables and orchards, yeah. So the size of the plot is going to have no impact whatsoever unless it's a vegetable garden or an orchard, yeah. Pigs, goats, chickens, all that kind of stuff, it can be a sliver of a backyard space. It'll be the same no matter what. Okay, so like we said, there we go, right on cue. Baron's going to be taking this one of those neutral regions, just like we anticipated. So we can't contest him on that, obviously. We're going to let him do his thing. Does anyone go out with 20 spearmen and take a bandit camp? Probably, I think you might need to do it with, if you set up your retinue, maybe with the initial 5, like, retinue with the 20 spearmen, maybe would be okay. I'm not really sure, though. I haven't tried that myself, to be honest. You take them out with 20 or less spears. Minimum would be 16.
Well,
With the agricultural penalty, what do you plan to do for barley, then? So, in this particular playthrough, trade through, basically a trade through. In this particular playthrough, I'm not worried about tier 3 housing at all. I'm not worried about barley and ale and all that at all. It's just not something that we need. We don't need to reach tier 3 housing to win restoring the peace and beat the Baron. So in this particular playthrough, we're probably only going to upgrade a couple like tier 2 houses as we need them for like artisan workshops, and that's it. Everything else is going to stay at tier 1 for this run and keep our approval requirements very low. If we were not doing this, if we were not like, you know, on a like I said, this isn't necessarily a speed run, but, you know, if we weren't trying to beat the Baron here within a reasonable amount of time, and we were trying to like get the town fully set up and everything, then we would be, the answer to your question would be, I would probably be importing it. I would just use the power of the economy to import barley and make the ale for the town. Make sure you don't set them to close, y'all. Oh yeah, you're talking about the their battle stance or whatever. Yeah, stand your ground. Maybe a double line would be better. Well, we'll see. I'll obviously we'll get into some combat situations pretty quickly here, and you guys can let me know what you think about some of the tactics and strategies that I use. But obviously, I certainly don't know everything, so there's probably some improvements that I can make. I know Bath has given several tips too as well for some of the like military like keybinds and controls and shortcuts and stuff, which is a big help too, which we'll talk about a bit. Yeah, and there's different pros and cons to each different like type of military unit as well. You know, like the spearmen versus the footmen versus the polearm pikemen guys or whatever, and you know, so there's different pros and cons to each different type of unit as well. So we're making war bows. That's going to be for our own archer militia here. So we'll go ahead and set that, and then once we get extra war bows, we can start selling some of those as well. Although I don't think it'll actually be even worth it, right? Because yeah, that's right. War bows only sell for 2, and since we have the Vokland, the planks sell for 2 anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Cool. So we're just making them for our own use, basically, for our own militia use. And maybe I'm thinking too, we'll probably make, I don't know, like 100 war bows or something like that, and then we'll probably even just tear down this bowyer shop because it's going to be pretty much useless after that. It's not like we need a billion bows, and we don't really have any benefit out of selling them, so. But yeah, cool. So new family moving in. I didn't notice any negative here from, we had a couple like spare houses there. I didn't really notice any negative, but I don't know if we need, if there's like a threshold for the amount of houses or something like that. We're gonna get stone gather camp here because, like I said, we need to build the manor, and we need the stone. So we'll just put that there. That's fine. We're also gonna, as soon as this is up and staffed, we're gonna upgrade our storehouse for the handcart efficiency. I did notice that they put something about handcart adjustments in the small update from yesterday or whatever. What did I just see there? Oh, okay. Okay, stone gather is up and staffed. We're gonna upgrade our storehouse for those handcarts. We're making good trades. Look, we're already over 1,000 regional wealth here, guys, in autumn of the first year. So we're doing really good on our economy, and that's the goal. We're gonna get taxing very soon here. Manor's coming up as soon as we're able to. I think the berries are done for now, right? Yep, berries are out of season. I'm gonna take that off. Done with the forger hut for now. And let's double up on the stone, or let's just max the stone real quick. We just need that ASAP so we can get the manor coming in. We have the labor available, and we'll also maybe get a couple more houses too. We're good for it. Alright, we got the stone that we need. We'll not worry about it for a second. Let's just put in one or two more houses to get ahead on that, and then we'll get the manor constructed here. I'll take a double plot there, that's fine. Alright, so we'll get that, and then we're gonna put that on high, and then we're gonna get our manor. It's not really like a super big deal where we place it, so we're just gonna go like right here. Alright, good. Let's see. Another tactic I employ, not sure how effective it is, but I take archers and set up such that the archers will be hitting the bandits as they come through a forest. Yeah, because the units get like a negative if they're surrounded by trees, right? So let's add the housing expansion to that double plot. With your spears and archers outside the forest. Yep. Think about the very beginning so the baron doesn't get influence. When you don't have the money, when you don't have the manor or money for mercenaries. Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Ned. Yeah. So like on the default settings, when you get the armament delivery, which you don't get it here on the challenging settings, but when you get the armament delivery, and you have that initial 20 spearmen, is it worth it to like deploy them right away to try to contest that initial bandit camp or whatever? I'd say yeah. I mean, at least give it a try. You know what I mean? And then maybe. I saw you guys chatting about, the formations and some adjustments maybe you could make to like their stance and stuff, and that'll probably work out. Looks like a couple of these guys are missing water. We can't have them missing water over here. We're getting approval loss from that. So we can either place another well. Yeah, that's fine. We still have water this far. On this side, we'll put a water well here. Easy fix. Nice. Manor's about to be done. Yeah, that's like, yeah. That's not bad at all, though. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, the bandit camps are gonna be big gains. All right, so we got our manor in here. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and start taxing a little bit. We'll go 10% to start. So the next bandit camp that pops up, we are going to go for. We're going to try to contest. Another thing here is, and I'm gonna do the right thing here, and I'm not going to go for these bandit camps. So this has got to be a bug, right? This has got to be incorrect, where the Baron sends out his troops and you know, defeats the bandits, but then just leaves the camp. I mean, that's got to be a bug, right? Like, obviously, the Baron should be taking the camp so that we're not able to just take it for free. So I'm gonna do the ethical thing and ignore these camps unless it's a fresh bandit camp that spawns and we actually defeat the bandits and earn the camp. We're not gonna take those, because we could be really cheesy right now and just run out with some units and just take those camps and get free treasury because they're just sitting there for whatever reason. You know, the Baron will, like I said, it's got to be a bug that they'll go and defeat the bandits, but then they won't take the camp. So there's no way that's correct, so we're not going to abuse that. Just to make sure we're keeping things legit here. All right. How we looking? New house. So we finished up with the house. We have a full archer militia, so that's really good. Happy about that. Let's see. Let's keep building. Let's build a couple more houses, I guess. God, I swear these the people that work the market stall are like the most annoying. Like, they are relentless. They are relentless with the voice lines, and I swear there's no way to turn them off. Like, do I not have everything turned off other than, like, is it considered interface? I don't know. All right, we're putting in a couple more houses here for a little bit more pop growth, but actually I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna not do that. Because we got winter, we're coming up on winter here, and we only have, you know, so much food, right? It's not like we have an endless supply of food here, so we're gonna hold off on that. We're gonna go with what we have. So no more pop growth over the winter here. We are starting to tax. We taxed 10% there. We got 140. So that means next bandit camp that pops up, we're gonna purchase mercenaries. And or use our archer militia, you know, and we're gonna go for that. Might even bump up a little bit more here. How much can we? 14, 15. Let's go 14% for a -10 approval. We can manage that. Our approval is very strong. See, that's why we're keeping all of our houses at a low. We're keeping all our houses at level 1, so our approval requirements are staying as low as possible, and we're distracting our peasants from the fact that we're taxing, you know, we're taxing the shit out of them. But we're distracting them with keeping their approval demands low. So yeah, let's see. Actually, we can go up to 17% for a -12. Basically, we just want as much treasury as possible here. Actually, let's just bump it up, dude. 21, let's go. All right, let's go 20. We're gonna go 20%. Because we're not worried about pop growth right now. We're gonna go 20%. We're just building this treasury. We're making sure we're ready for purchasing military units and such. Ethics, this is war. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's definitely, you know, you guys can do whatever you want. I just want to keep it. I don't want people, you know. It seems like every time I do some kind of a challenge run, someone's accusing me of doing something to make it somehow easy. So, I don't know. We're just trying to keep the challenge a challenge, I guess. But yeah, obviously, if you guys want to take those camps and get, I mean, do, you know, like if they didn't want us to get free treasury from these bandit camps just sitting here because the Baron didn't actually take them, then like they should probably fix that. You know what I mean? So I encourage you guys to use it. I'm not going to, just for, you know, just to keep it kosher, but. Let's just gather the rest of this stone while we're chilling. Started a challenging merc only run. Nice. Got to the final region and got hit with the merc bug. Only group available is the 2 archers. I mean, I would imagine that's not a bug, but I mean, you do understand how the mercenary pool works, right? Like, so I don't know what year it was by the time you got to the end, but usually by the time you get to the end of a like restoring the peace, you're pretty far in, like time wise, many years in. And there's only like I think there's like a dozen mercenary companies in total, something like that. And once they've been purchased by the Baron, then they're off the pool indefinitely. So that's part of the challenge of the mercenary only achievement, is that you need to make sure that you're employing the mercenaries before the Baron just takes them all out of the pool. I don't know if that's been changed. Like, I know Sun God was we were chatting about it a little bit, and I don't know, he was saying that he felt like he had noticed some of the mercenaries that the Baron hired, like, returned to the pool, or like while he had them hired, they returned to the pool again. But as far as I understand, they should, at least when I did the mercenary achievement, year and a half ago, yeah, the mercenaries are, that's part of the challenge is, the Baron buys them up and then they're gone. So it's not like there's an infinite amount of mercenaries that you can purchase. And we're also not abusing this iron mine either. We could have been even farther ahead, like abusing that, but we literally haven't even touched it. We're literally building a mining pit right now. And I think we're pretty much only going to use it just to make tools. So just to further emphasize that, we're not really like, making this happen just because we have a rich iron node or something. Reloaded, spread through a year, still only one group of mercs. Personally, I'm challenging if he misses a camp or two, you take them with an early archery unit. When they come on again, they will... I mean, geez, Baff, coming from the same guy that's saying it's a cheese if you put on 5 bandit camps and you don't even use a retinue to, like, take them, and you actually tax up and use mercenaries to get them. Baff, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. Gotta say, I'm a little surprised. Alright, there's that mining pit. Let's just go ahead and mine up a little bit of iron here. Like I said, we're pretty much just gonna make some tools. That's all I really care about with the iron. Otherwise, of course, you could really use this iron node to, boost a ton of things in your town. So once we get out of, so we're coming back to spring. See, good thing I didn't add the additional housing there. See, because we're going to be running out of food just as we come back into springtime here. So that's good. But we're very strong on treasury, so we're ready. Next time a bandit camp pops up. I mean, look, Bath, if you're saying it's a 1000% a cheese to come take these camps that are literally just sitting here, dude. Like, it is not a cheese to actually earn the camps. Like, that's not a cheese, dude. It is absolutely a cheese to take the camps that they're just sitting here, though. But I guess, to each their own. And there's just like no way, like if you're doing a challenge run where you're trying to win within a certain, like within 1 years of game time, it's just literally not going to happen unless you put bandit camps. Like it's impossible to get the influence otherwise. So anyways, another bandit camp popped up. We're gonna go ahead and contest that, like I said. Grab bandit mercenaries. I'm gonna run up here. Usually set the storehouse to not accept ore or iron slabs. Why is that? Alright, we're chilling on that for now. Let's just go ahead and convert those into a few tools. Okay, berries are coming in again. Alright, so I think one of these camps is actually a new camp that we'll be going for here. So we should definitely beat him to it. It should be no problem. Okay. This is not really anything we're worried about. This is just whatever. Just kill the bandits. We don't even need to have any tactics here. Take that one camp that we earned. There we go, and we're done. There we go. So we got that camp, we got the influence from it, we got the treasury from it. And we denied the Baron. Cool. So we're still producing like a ton of war bows for like kind of no reason, so we can turn that off for now. Okay. But yeah, looking good. We're gonna be ready here. So probably pretty soon, I don't know, within the coming months, he's gonna probably be contesting for that second neutral region, which we are going to be we're gonna contest that. There's enough storage in the mine and the bloomery. Oh yeah. Gotcha. That's a good call for sure. Pretty much got all that stone taken. And we don't need all that stone either. And since we have the Vokland perk, this sells for 2 each, so we'll just sell. I don't think we really need any. We'll just keep like 30 just in case we have another building task that we need it for, but I don't think there's really anything else we need, to be honest, so. I think we're pretty much coasting here now. We're just coasting until we are need to head into battle. We're really strong on, we'll go ahead and bump back down to like 10% because we're really strong on our treasury. Maybe we'll start adding a little bit of, oh, there we go. Scratch that. So we're going to obviously, here we go. It's time to contest, see if we can get this region here. So the benefit here is that like basically he's going for this neutral region here, the remaining neutral region, and the Baron has essentially, it costs 1,000 influence to press claim on a neutral region. So essentially the Baron has used his 1,000 influence to press claim on this region, and we're going to contest him and hopefully win the region for ourselves. But basically we're commandeering his influence. We're using his influence to take this region. So that's the real big benefit of trying to contest if he's going for a neutral one. So we're definitely going to contest him on that, but we're just going to grab all of these mercenaries because that's what we set up for. That's the economy that we built. That's the plan. So we're going to start moving all these guys over this way. Alright, so we're going to accept the battle here in just a sec. Just get these guys moved a little bit closer to that region. Let's go ahead and accept the battle. Okay, battlefield location is over here. He wants to fight in his region that he owns for the buffs to his military units. Okay, enemy unit's been spotted. Okay, so he's bringing a full army, basically here, or not the full army. They'll have a bigger one at the end, but he's got 2 full infantries, a full retinue, 36, a full archers, and then also some brigands. All right, so we're gonna have to be ready for battle here. So we only have we also have our own regular archers from our region. I forgot to rally them up. What we're gonna do is this will actually work out for the best, actually. Once they're moved farther, like past our town towards the battle area, we'll go ahead and rally our archers, and they'll come up on the behind. They'll get a flank maneuver on these guys. That'll work out. We only have 2 mercenary archers otherwise. So, cool. Battlefield's right here. So tactics that I like to use is I'll use the archers on the lined up in the back to start, and we'll have melee units ready to block, basically. And the brigands I like to use to just run around and chase down, like the archers, for example. Obviously, they're not super good in like a fight against other melee units or whatever. But the goal here is to utilize the melee units as a shield for the archers. The archers are going to do majority of the damage. But we're going to need some strategic positioning. All right, so like I said, once they move past our town, now we can rally up our archers, militia. And then we can have them come up on the back side here and flank these the enemy army. Okay. Have them start heading this way. Okay, so here they come. Alright, so they are heading our way, obviously. We're going to have our archers start volleying in. So as they're approaching us, we're just shooting them. These guys don't seem to be approaching. They're just getting shot, so that's cool. We do have these brigands coming around the backside here trying to flank our archers, but we have our melee units here ready to block them off. Basically, we just want to stand our ground and let them come to us. Just block off these raiders over here. I usually just... Anytime the melee, like I said, for me, the melee units are literally just to defend. It's all about the archers doing the damage. Okay, here comes... they have a retinue coming at us, so we'll make sure we're starting to lay into them. Like I said, I'll usually use these brigands. I like to have the brigands run around and chase their archers, because they're not really too capable of much else. Here comes this retinue to attack our spearmen, so we're going to go stand our ground and shield wall. The shield wall is really good with the spearmen. They're going to get defensive there. Nice. let's go ahead and press up here towards the enemies, since they're showing their hand a little bit more now, and we're going to use our archers to move behind. So this retinue here, this retinue is probably stronger than our spearmen, you know what I mean? The retinue is going to be really strong. So we're going to use our archers here to do a flank maneuver. So I'm going to hold control and right click and drag to make like a angled approach move. So we're just going to have these guys attack over here. Just using these brigands to run around and chase too, but these guys are already broken on this side. They got ripped. Cool. So we moved our archers behind, and we're going to have them start shooting into the back of this retinue here. And that's just going to shred up their retinue. Make it worthwhile if we drop our claims. We're not dropping our claims, bro. We ain't dropping nothing. Alright, we're going to move our melee units across the way here to block our archers that are on this side and support. We have a band of melee here. We'll put them on, once again, defensive. See, so we're using the spearmen to hold off the retinue, but the retinue's strong, so they're getting kind of shredded, but we just have them on shield wall and stand our ground, max defensive. And we put our archers behind, and they're just on shoot at will. And they are just shredding the back of this retinue here. They're going to get broken pretty soon. We moved our other melee units over here. We're going to have them charge in, block them off. Go defensive again, same thing. And these guys, since we already have melee units on defensive, holding off these two guys, we're going to move our other melee units around the back and flank them over there. Didn't really end up needing the retinue over here is getting destroyed. Let's just go on, push forward, take off the shield wall, destroy them. And we're pretty much got this in the bag now. It's just these last couple units here. Yep, they're broken. Broken. There we go. That should be a victory. There we go. So we didn't even need our archer militia from our region. So we'll bring them back home. They were just they were just over here for moral support. Alright, so that was good though. That was good. That was good. So we got this region. We're going to get rid of these mercenaries now. We're done with them. I don't want to keep paying them for the meantime. So there we go. So we own 2 regions now. By May of year 2 in the challenging here. So we need to get these remaining 2 regions, which now the big challenge is influence. And so that's where you're going to be held up without the bandit camps. It's pretty much like the main way to get influence is, you know, battling against the bandits. So unfortunately, you know, that's what kind of blows about the current state of, you know, of trying to do these sort of runs and winning, you know, the whole map and the military encounters and stuff is we're definitely throttled by the influence. So, but we did get this region for free essentially, since the Baron spent his influence on pressing claim towards the region, and we just used his claim on the region to take it ourselves. So that's really good, but we need 4,000 total influence to be able to take the remaining 2 regions. And unfortunately, you don't gain any influence from, like, that whole battle that we just did there. We didn't gain any influence from those battles. You don't gain any influence from, like, pressing claim or anything like that. So it's a little, in my opinion, there needs to be more ways to gain the influence. It's just way too slow. But yeah, that's basically where we're at now. I mean, everything's so strong right now. We're ready. You know, we're pretty much ready to take on the Baron at a full capacity now. We just need the influence. The battles are more varied after the recent update. Never know if their standoff is coming. Yeah, right? I know. A little interesting, yeah. I'm sure they're still working out a bunch of kinks with the, you know, AI's combat capabilities and stuff like that, but yeah, nice. So that was a good, really good jump start there. We do have raiders coming to attack us at the beginning of the next year, the third year, and that's going to get us, I believe, uh, 360 times 2 is going to give us like 720 influence, I think. So we'll be up to what, 1330? So yeah, and then the other thing that sucks is like now that all the regions are claimed, there's not going to be any more bandit camps. No more bandit camps are going to spawn. They only spawn when it's in a neutral, unclaimed region. So like, you know, the influence gains are just just incredibly slow now at this point. It's basically producing enough food to like thousands of food to sacrifice at the church to gain that much influence is pretty like unreasonable. So, at this point it is somewhat of a waiting game to just get like I said, after the bandits come, we'll be up to like 1330, so we still need like seven. It's like we would need to wait for even another raid on the town, which would be like another 2 years after that. And then we gain like another 720 because you get like 360 influence per bandit, per like group of bandits defeating them. So it's like we need to get through two more bandit attacks on our town here, which is like 3 more years of game time, and then we could claim one region, and then we would still need 2,000 more influence after that to get the last region. So definitely a bit of a slog here in that sense. So that's kind of like unfortunate. I don't know if I really want to, make you guys sit through that. Maybe we can load up a couple other saves and do some other combat encounters as well for some other ones that I had set up. But yeah, that's kind of, hopefully you guys can see here. I mean, like the strategy was set up the town in the trade and the economy really quickly, making sure we're keeping in account the the increase on the weather events and the approval demands in particular, but still growing the town quickly, growing the economy very quickly, and then trying to contest on that. You get to the point where you can contest that first, or not first, but second neutral region. So then you use the barons, and if there was more regions, like if we were on a bigger map and there was more neutral regions, just keep doing that. Just use the barons, use his influence that he has spent on the claim to take it for yourself. That's going to be really big gains. But yeah, unfortunately, other than that, we're somewhat at this point just it would literally just be kind of like coasting and just simming through to the point of of beating of getting to that point with the influence. So it's not too exciting in that regard now at this point, but we'll go ahead and save it here, and I'll load up another one real quick that I had set up with combat scenario. Yeah, I know it's frustrating. I agree, dude. They just need to add more. Like you should gain influence just like the like waiting game to gain influence after you're like already ready to win battles is kind of silly in my opinion. But um, yeah, no worries, Ned. Thanks for popping in, dude. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Oops. So I had prepared a couple of other maps that are like on the verge of like combat scenarios. So this one I had set up here. I'll show you this town. I actually really like this town. The setup. I do have built like a castle and everything here too. So this one was I like this setup here. This one does have a rich stone, which I used to build this castle here. Now on this one, it's the divided map, I believe, but I just added the max amount of AI and the Baron, like all three AI are on here and the Baron. I think one of the AI has already been edged out of the map, basically, but so there's only 2 AIs in the Baron left, I think, now. But they're all on like max aggressive, and just was kind of testing out how that all works and stuff. But every region, I think these two, this bottom left and top right are the Barons. This one right here is one of the AIs, and then the 2 blue ones are one of the other AIs. So I did set up here. As you can see, the economy's great. I mean, look at like the amount of... we're in the wrong region here. Let's get back to our... There we go. The amount of economy and treasury and stuff that we have here is really strong. We also have enough influence to actually press claim. So there is going to be, I think, within the next month or 2 here, really quickly, in this one, there's going to be an attack on the towns, which we can defend, and then we can also press claim on someone on like the Barons, one of the Barons regions or something. But this town I was really happy with. Had a few large backyard extensions here that are right next to a granary with the market here that I upgraded to tier 3. So these are all maxed out on families, 4 family each on these large veggie and orchard extensions right here. And then we got the Nike economy going with tons of goats. And we got some sheep, and we're butchering a little bit. We're making some war bows, clothing. We got, here's our Nike workshop right here, making the shoes that we're selling. So this town's pretty strong. We got 2 storehouses for logistics going. Like we got a bunch of nice setup here. The tavern is going. So this town is pretty strong. This is in year 7, so this one's been pretty well established. But it's a nice. It's also a super nice aesthetic. Look at this town, dude. Like this view, like from the cliffside, is just like immaculate, right? That's pretty nice. Use the Baron's influence and be unethical. Reply to his bribe letter after you own the region. So you can take the region and then reply to the bribe letter, and then he'll pay you. I didn't know that. See, now you guys are cheesy, dude. Holy crap! My gosh, the amount of cheese strats I'm seeing here. We gotta do what we gotta do out here, though. I mean, geez. It's like they should really fix that, But yeah, I really like the aesthetics here with the on the cliffside. Very nice. All right, so like I said, there should be some combat stuff popping up here real quick. Pretty sure I saved right before an attack. So we've got 1 archer militia and 1 full retinue here, and we have just the regulars. This one's on default settings, so we did get the armament delivery, so we just have the 20 spearmen that we started out with too. We'd love to see a combat guide. Enjoy all of it. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you're having a good Sunday, by the way. Yeah, I do have I mentioned earlier, as I was kind of preparing for the stream and the combat stuff, I did prepare a couple saves like this one and 1 or 2 other maps, and some combat situation setups that I'm going to create a more formatted guide for combat stuff in particular. All right, there we go. So there's some enemy units, which they're going to attack this AI town. But I'm pretty sure there's also going to be like a regular attack on our town here pretty quick too. Okay, yeah. See, so he's got. I mean, this is impressive. So just to show you guys, like, I know hopefully hopefully you guys watched that video that I posted this last week about defeating the AI in a year. And as you guys saw, I mean, the AI didn't really defend themselves because we were just so far ahead. But as you guys can see here, this is an AI town right here. This is not the Baron. As you can see, the color is green and they have a town here. This is an AI town. And this is not a band of mercenaries. This is actually a spear militia. They have a full... They've made their own spear militia here and are defending themselves with their own spear militia. Not a mercenaries even that they hired. This is their own spear militia that they made in the town. So that's really impressive. Not so impressive that they have a retinue with only 2 units in it coming to attack. But yeah, definitely encouraging in the sense of, like, we can see the AI are you know, that's pretty encouraging that they've made their own full band of our spear militia here to defend themselves and everything. Because I definitely knew they were capable of hiring mercenaries, but I had not really seen them create their own full militia like that. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there's going to be an actual attack on our town here real soon, but let's see what the AI does here. Oh, he's bringing more so now he's got mercenaries too. See, so the AI here, dude, look at the AI is pulling out all the stops to defend themselves, man. They got their spear militia. They called in the reinforcements, dude. They got mercenaries coming across the map right now. So yeah, I mean, the AI, they're defending themselves. He's gonna need those mercenaries to show up pretty quick. His town's about to get burnt. They're coming. Dude, the AI, they're trying, dude. The AI's trying their best. I mean, I gotta say, I am impressed, though, that they had the spear militia, and now they do have mercenaries on the way. It's just, it's probably gonna be too late before their town gets burned to bits. They tried their best. I mean, they almost did. I mean, look, there's only seven brigands left in this. There's only 2 over here, only 5. I mean, they almost wiped them out, too. And the mercenaries are still coming. Like I said, I think there should be an actual attack on our region here coming in just a sec, so... If not, then we'll just reload real quick. But yeah, their town got burnt to a crisp, man. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. Enemy presses claim. Okay. And this is the same. This is the green guy. So the AI is a little wacky right now. So this guy, the green guy just had his whole town completely burnt to a crisp. But his mercenary backup finally made it and stuff. And now he's like, all right, let's go press claim on this other guy. So, yeah, obviously we're going to defend ourselves. You want to come and attack me? That's fine. Let's grab these. Grab these mercenaries and we're going to head to our town. The battlefield's down here, but what we're going to try to do is drag them towards we'll try to see if we can use the castle here. That would be sick. So if we can get them to drag towards the castle, we'll garrison our, so I set up the ramparts here, so we can garrison our archer units on the ramparts. Let's see if we can, see if this works. That would be really cool. Okay. Get these guys moving this way. Alright, cool. And if the archers get garrisoned here on the ramparts, that's going to be pretty sick. If we can actually use this, that'll be cool. Nice. I mean, that is pretty sweet. Getting them garrisoned up on the ramparts here on the castle. I mean, it's pretty sick, right? There, we got a little bit of a traffic jam, but hopefully they'll figure it out. You can do it! Come on, guys! There we go. Okay, a couple of them got through. There we go. There we go. Slowly but surely. Line it up, guys.
Come on, come on.
I mean, we're not doing any kind of challenge here. I just loaded a random save that's in year 7. You guys are in rare form today. I mean, it is odd, too, that the battlefield location is even... I think it's because, you know, they want it to be in their region, you know what I mean? The enemy, he wants it to be, the battlefield location to be in his region for the bonus, like the morale bonus or whatever. But we're battling for my region, so we want to be in our own region for the same reason, right? All right, our archers are garrisoned on the... Oh, yo, actually, look, they're going to town. Look at that. So our archers, they were just shooting there here. I didn't realize that these guys were already so far up. But they were, yeah, look, they're already shooting down from the ramparts here to those bandits. Oh, that's sick. Look at that, guys. Yo, that's pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. There we go. Our archers up here on the ramparts and the castle are shooting down to these bandits way down here. That is super cool. We're not, I mean, it's kind of, we have other archers down here tanking the bandits, which we don't want, but whatever. This is definitely cool. Big fan of that. Don't we have, what's up with these guys? Are these guys just bugged out? Yeah, these guys are just bugged out, so that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. It's all good. We still got plenty of troops. We can also get our retinue deployed here. And also, side note, they did say that they reduce. I have noticed, like, I haven't had any issues with the retinue getting out of the manor. Like, they used to get stuck in the doorway constantly. It's way better now, so big fan of that, too. But this is just so cool. I love seeing the archers being able to shoot down from the cliffside up here in the ramparts on the walls of our castle. I mean, that's just so cool, right? Absolutely love that. These other archers that got stuck down here, unfortunate for them, but, you know. Retreat! Yeah, I just love seeing... This is just so cool, seeing them up here on the garrison on the ramparts shooting down. I mean, that is awesome. Alright, we got our badass full retinue here. I even got them color coordinated, guys. Look at that. We got the burgundy and yellow swag going on. Yo, that's kind of a cool shot right there. Hold on. That's kind of a sick picture right there. I'm gonna screenshot that. That looks badass. Let's go, lads. Yeah, our these poor guys just got they got caught up in the fray down here. They're just donezo. You guys are sacrificed, but they're getting shot up by our. See, they don't even know. They don't even know what's hitting them, dude. We got our archers up here behind the trees and the cliffside. They don't even know. That is super cool. Just gunning them down from our from the ramparts up here. Flee! Alright. Let's finish them off. Alright, charge in, lads. Oh, well, there we go. No need. They saw the spearmen come and they didn't want to. Jacob and Koval, peace declared. Alright. Cool, so we defended. And let's go ahead and I would say we could take his region to retaliate, but I don't think he's going to be able to defend himself now. I think his whole town is burnt to a crisp. I don't even think we want to take this region. I don't want this. I don't want this rubble. So we'll go ahead and battle. We'll press claim on. This is one of the Barons regions over here. It'll be a better battle, anyways. The gauntlet has been thrown. These guys are bugged out, of course, which is dumb. All right. So we're gonna ungarrison our archers here. That was really cool. I definitely enjoyed that. That was really enjoyable. The archers on the ramparts is just badass. Alright, we're gonna press claim on the Barons, one of the Barons' territories over here. Gonna start heading over there. Sweet. And a new month is going to come up here. We'll maybe even buy some more mercenaries to use for this battle. If more come onto the pool. Yeah, we'll grab those guys. Okay, enemy unit spotted. These new mercenaries that we bought are really far away. Okay, but the Barons aren't. I think a chunk of the Barons' army is coming from far away. Oh no, those are mercenaries that they have coming from far too. And then he has some units over here, which are attacking our bugged out infantrymen, which is silly. Other than that, we're chilling in the combat zone. I don't think these guys are even fighting, are they? They're just getting killed. Haven't lost a single brigand. Now, these guys are obviously just bugged out, which is just kind of ridiculous. Okay, he has these mercenary archers coming from across the map. Okay, just kill these guys off already so then we can move on, because these guys are bugged out. Okay, there we go. Finally. Alright. I mean, this is only one band of brigands that's right here, but, you know, same tactics. We'll just start shooting them as they're approaching. Just block them off. But, yeah, it's just one little band of brigands, so it's really not a big deal for now. and then that's a victory. Just beating the bandits. So yeah, I mean, see, some of this stuff is just kind of like, what? Like, come on. Like, that was it. We just took this region. That's all he sent was one band of brigands. And then our other units were like bugged out over here on the edge of the map, and you know what I mean? So it's just kind of, this is why I was like, yeah, this is a big reason why I haven't made like a combat guide yet, and it's really hard to like, you know, it's really hard to you know, present things in a way that actually works and makes sense and stuff. So it's a bit discouraging in that sense. So that was a big flop as far as, you know, we pressed claim on this region and it was just a nothing as far as the battle. So but that was really cool, seeing using the castle here to get the archers on. That's just like so cool, being able to actually use the castle, get them garrisoned up on the rampart, shoot from that position. Everything is just so cool. But yeah, guys, I guess that's going to be probably about it for today. We've kind of exhausted a lot of the potential opportunities here for the combat situations. So I'll try it. Like I said, I do have plans for like a more formatted guide for combat stuff. But, you know, as you guys can see, I mean, there's just so many issues, very significant issues involved with the combat and military system still. So it's kind of hard for now, but we'll see. Hopefully in the near future, be able to get that going. But yeah, guys, GG's. That was a good couple hours here. That was really good on the challenging. We got, like, getting the town established, getting that early rush on that neutral region. Everything was about as good as it can get. And then from there, I mean, we're pretty much just coasting. You're just simming through until you get enough influence to get those remaining regions. But yeah, guys, good stuff today. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'm going to be probably wrapping it up here for the stream today. And we'll be hopefully getting some more content together for the coming week. But, you know, seems like there's still so many moving parts, so a little tough. Yeah. But yeah, guys, appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for watching and hanging out and engaging and all that as always. I really appreciate it. I'm probably gonna go. I know I said this on Friday and I didn't end up, but I'm probably gonna go live on Twitch here in about an hour and a half, and do some gaming over there. So if anyone wants to hang out, more than welcome to pop in there. Otherwise, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And I hope to see you on the channel here in the coming week for some more content. We'll see what we're able to get done before they wrap up the patch. But if they're still going to be, you know, taking forever on getting this patch, then maybe I'll do a little bit more Farthest Frontier, a couple, you know, something video for that or something. We'll see. Feels like a never-ending cycle of issues with this game, so we'll take it as it comes. Yeah, definitely hit and miss. Yeah, definitely hit and miss with the combat. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, if you guys are interested, I'll probably hop over be on the Twitch in about an hour and a half. If you guys are interested in hanging out, gaming up a little bit over there. Otherwise, peace out for now, guys. Appreciate y'all.